Shane Seymour. I'm farming 200 cows outside Nina, Tipperary. Um, started it, came home farming in 2016, just when the quota's finished, and at the time there were 70 cows here, and expanded throughout the years to 200 cows on the same land base. In partnership with my parents up until last year, and my father and has retired since. So all going well, grass-based system, and just decided then over the years that things were getting a bit tough on my own when it came to heat detection, things like that, and decided that Moonsyst was a very good option going forward for me. Moonsyst calving earths, I just was one part of the system that intrigued me. You're calving so many cows down in such a short period of time, shed space availability and stuff like that, and like straw usage was always an issue on the farm, and you could have a cow in the shed for a week or 10 days thinking she was going to calve, but with the system it was an alerting me whatever 24 hours before the cow was ready to calve, and even once or twice I got an alert saying this cow was going to calve, and I said no way, and I wasn't long believing the system when I had two cows calving out in the cubicles when I got alerts. So it's been super. Saved on straw, just even a bit more reassurance that cow was going to calve to keep a better eye on her and stuff like that. So it worked out super for me. With the cold temperature alerts, it was fantastic. Especially in the springtime when the pressure's really on, so much going on between cows calving and calves being fed and etc. Milk fever has never really been an issue for me, but with the system it definitely picked out, I think it was at 4 or 5 cows before I even saw them. It was such a peace of mind. Didn't lose any cows then through milk fever because of the quick acting of the alerts, and I suppose going back to it, the system is only ever going to be as good as me. If the alert is always going to be there, it's just about using it and getting there in time to the cow. So the high temperature alerts, this is one of the best sides of it. It's been serious. Only the other day, it was actually 2 weeks ago, I got a high temperature alert, and I was very busy. It was a Friday evening, something went on Saturday. I got an alert and I ignored it basically. Come Sunday morning when I was back milking myself, cow with E. coli mastitis. It was my own fault. The system alerted me Friday, and I should have been more tuned into it. It's amazing picking up mastitis. It picked up other issues as well, but on the mastitis side of it, it's been serious. Thankfully, I haven't had a whole pile of it, very handful of cases, but the system has always picked it up before I have, and I found it very helpful for implying lads milking and stuff. That it gives me a bit more peace of mind that things are going to be looked after that bit more because there's eyes in the skies or a device in the belly, if you want to call it that way. So the heat detection was the main reason I bought the system. Always was manageable up throughout the years. I was milking 100 cows, 120, 40, and was never any bother. Really having stock bulls. But then I got the farm up to such good level. I'd done a big investment in 2019, and I was ready to maximize the milking platform best I could. So it meant I could milk over 200 cows. And through that, like, stock bulls in my mind was a waste of time because you need too many of them. So I just kind of saw heat detection system as the way forward. Time put into heat detection is ridiculous at times. You're spending hours in the evening, you're watching so much, and you can't get away for it for at least 6 weeks when the peak is on, and you're doing it for 3 weeks pre-breeding as well. So I kind of said to myself, something has to give. Like, my father was more or less zoning out. I was getting more and more pressure on my own. I felt I was getting more and more things that had to be done. And I invested in this system last November, and I can't fault it. Like, I was going away for days off in the middle of May, confident that the system was alerting me. I could text the lads milking to draft out X, Y, and Z, and that was done. I done all AI all myself up until probably the last 3 or 4 weeks when I just got in someone else because I kind of got sick of it. But it was ridiculous. It was so good for the timing of AI. It was the best was the best side of it. I thought cows that I felt that needed to be done in the morning time, and the alert would tell me wait another 5, 6 hours and do it in the evening time for a more optimal time for AI. And the other side of it then as well was the use of sex semen. So this year I used all sex semen on my cows. Not, excuse me, sorry. I used 100 straws of sex semen on the cows, and everything else got the beef straws. So it allowed me to pick out the best 100 cows. And after that, I used beef on everything else, and it just gave me such peace of mind using sex semen, the timing of it. Jerry was great to give me reports, pre-breeding reports saying which cows had strong heats, which cows had weak heats. Any problem cows were alerted to me in loads of time in mid-April that I could get them sorted out. So everything is going super. I think I had a very high conception rate compared to 12 months ago. I'm up 14% on my conception rate compared to 12 months ago. So it's been super, and look at the way this is going, it's going to pay for itself in no time. So I found with the system, before the system was in place, like I needed eyes on the place 24/7 because, as I said, my father was in retirement mode. Um, I didn't really have anyone applied at the time, so everything was ending, everything was stopping and starting with me. It was so difficult to get on top of things. I found when the system went in place, it was like having an extra staff member really that was as good as myself, even better because it's obviously catching temperatures, it's catching heats, it's capturing the cow not ruminating and taking intake of water. So straight away I noticed the benefits even in February. Like it was amazing that I wasn't worried about a cow calving on the slats or a cow calving in cubicles because I just felt I'd get an alert. And then when you go forward a small bit to the breeding season, it saved me hours in the evening. Not every day or not every week, but it saved me hours every day because I was so much freer. Playing hurling, and I play a bit of golf and a bit of tennis. But my careers have excelled since. I have loads more time to myself. And it's been great even ever since. Like I can go away. I went away through the breeding season, a couple of days, which has never happened before because I was confident in the system, and I had someone a friend of mine in AI for 2 or 3 days for me, and it was just the peace of mind I had with it was unbelievable. Because usually when you get to the 1st of March, you can tend to be wrecked after calving season. There's no real respite in between calving and then breeding. But this year it was a breeze, and there's no looking back for me now. So at the start of the system, he was notifying me of all the alerts that were coming through to my phone, and I found it super helpful to give me the confidence to use them. And at the start, just wasn't used to the system. I was kind of ignoring them at times, but he'd be like, check out this one. She held a low temperature for the last 24 hours, etc. Or this one's water intake is low. So like the information and the customer support has been second to none when it comes to the reports and real time data. It's been phenomenal. Like it's amazing. The information I have on my cows is ridiculous. Like pre-breeding reports were phenomenal. As I said, they picked out, I think it was a 14 out of 200 cows that hadn't been cycling regularly, and they all got inspected by the vet in due course, and they were, they had all little different pieces wrong with them. And then throughout the breeding season, getting every 3 weeks, every 21 days, getting a fertility report off Derry himself, it was phenomenal, and it gave me a bit more peace of mind how my conception rate was going to first and second and third serve. And overall, like I was getting happier as the weeks was going on because my empty rate looks predicted like it should be around 6-7% by the end of the season, which I'm extremely happy with. The real-time data on all of them alerts was very, very good. A couple of weeks ago, it was a funny story. I think I could have been away for the day, and I got this phone call from Jerry, and I was like, "Jeez, what's ringing for you now?" And just seeing all these low temperature alerts kept coming through my phone. I was like, "What is going on?" So he rang me, and he was like, "Are your cows eating today, or did you change your diet suddenly, or anything like that?" I said, "Jeez, no, it's been fairly consistent now for the last few weeks." And I rang the lad who was working below, and he said all the cows, it was absolutely pissing rain, and all the cows were bunched up in a huddle underneath a tree. Weren't ruminating, obviously, and the cold weather had obviously shocked their system for that couple of thunderstorms or whatever was in it. But it was just amazing how quick the system picked up the alerts, and it just, it gives you savage peace of mind if there was really an issue that you'd catch it. And another day, I had to text Jerry to ignore the system. My cows ended up breaking out on the road and me there a couple of weeks ago, unfortunately, and all took down the road. Anyway, long story short, got him back, no hassle, but the whole thing went berserk and high temperature alert from the high activity. So it just shows it works in real time. The app is savage. It'll give you a latest updated device reading and all that kind of thing. So it gives you confidence that she's been reading 10 minutes ago or it was 3 or 4 hours ago. You'll know, like. So it's been very, very good, like. For anyone thinking about buying the system, it's a no-brainer in my book. It's like having another staff member, and a really, really good one at that. It's another peace of mind. Um, suppose when I first saw the system, I think I kind of saw it online. I just Googled alternatives to collars because just something didn't really sit right for me about the collars, and I kind of said, just look at alternatives, and I came across Moonsyst. Customer support has been serious, and then with the grants and TAMs available now from, they're not a dear product for what you're getting out of them. They've worked so well for me. I can't fault them, and going, going forward, I'd recommend anyone invest in them. The peace of mind that I get from them every day is phenomenal. It allows me to slightly take a step back in certain times of the year where I know the system is looking after the cows as good as I'm going to. If anything, it's better than me because it's picking them up in real time before I see any issues. The customer support has been serious. Like, I can't fault it.